When Alex Stein confronted Brittney Griner at the Dallas airport, asking some very simple questions that Brittney Griner really hasn't been asked yet, like, do you hate America, or do you think it was a fair trade to give up a notorious arms dealer just to get you back to this country? You knew that there was going to be a woke freakout, a woke meltdown, and that's exactly what happened. Immediately, we saw the WNBA put out a statement acting as if there was some sort of like assassination attempt on Brittney Griner, when in reality, it was just Alex Stein asking her some funny questions at the airport. You saw woke lunatics like Jamel Hill come out there and immediately try to virtue signal. Ended up getting ratioed by Alex Stein, funny enough. But what I said was going to happen from all this was that the WNBA activists out there, the players, all these people, they were going to use this as a moment to try to once again virtue signal and act like the only reason this doesn't happen is because we don't get treated the same. We don't get private chartered flights like the NBA players do, so it's not fair. We deserve better. You need to protect us. And predictably, that's exactly what's happening. Phoenix Mercury to adjust travel arrangements following Brittney Griner harassment incident, head coach says. And also, when you look around the WNBA, whether it's commentators, whether it's people in the woke media, or whether it's players themselves, they're all singing the same tune. WNBA players and coaches call for charter flights after Brittney Griner harassed at the airport. Now, the reality is, the reason that chartered flights aren't typical for the WNBA, except in a couple situations, is because they can't afford them. They can't afford them because, spoiler alert, the WNBA doesn't make any fucking money. It has never made money in its over 20-year history. It is subsidized by the NBA. We heard the same arguments when Brittney Griner was actually over in Russia, when she illegally brought drugs into Russia, which led to her getting arrested. People said if they were getting paid more, she wouldn't have to go overseas to make more money. They are technically overpaid because the WNBA loses money. They should really be paying the WNBA, to be quite honest with you. But nevertheless, they are still paid for their performances. But there's not enough money to do private chartered flights. But now this is the new push. Breanna Taylor, a Mercury player and vice president of the WNBPA, said on Twitter the team huddled in a corner at the airport. Quote, I would say yesterday was a huge disappointment. I mean, I don't blame the league, but at the same time, no one could have predicted this. I think more measures could have been in place, absolutely. The WNBA's current policy only allows charter flights for games played on back-to-backs, the Commissioner's Cup game and the playoffs. Because some team owners cannot afford a charter flight to every game, the league offers any charters other than those situations would be a competitive advantage. But after the Mercury's incident, WNBA players and coaches are saying chartered flights are more about safety and comfort than a competitive advantage. Quote, I'm not going to lie, that made me angry. I seen a little snippet of the video and that's upsetting. We as a league deserve to be treated as our standard has been. WNBA players, the top 144 players, we should be charter. Cannon, who played for Phoenix from 2007 to 22, has known Griner a long time. Number one pick, Aliyah Boston, brings a lot of excitement with fans. She says the Fever have yet to had issues. The CBA, where the league, when they change their mind, will be able to get those charter flights. It'll be awesome. Breanna Stewart said the same thing, that we need charter flights, that I'm sure this was traumatizing and we need to be protected. We need to have charter flights for Brittney Griner. It's so fucking sad that Brittney Griner can't handle a couple questions. Now, obviously, if you listen to all the questions that Alex Stein asked, he said, hey, do you still hate America? Are you still going to be hating on America after this entire thing? Hey, do you think it was a fair trade? After you illegally brought drugs into the country and got arrested, was it a fair trade to send back a notorious Russian arms dealer to get you back to America? Now, I believe he also asked a question about, did you have sex with Vladimir Putin to get released? Maybe that's not exactly what people were wondering, but still a question from Alex Stein nevertheless. But it's just predictable that they would perpetuate this entire narrative, that they would use it to try to once again say, we're underpaid. This is why this happened. We need more. We need charter flights. When in reality, the WNBA is a failure. It has been a failure for 2 decades, and it's kept around as a virtue signal so that the NBA can point and look and be like, look at what we're doing for women's sports. We're keeping the WNBA alive. Predictable and sad and pathetic. Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.